Right, Black Science TV 111, Osei Kufuor. I'm
Keep
back
your
at y'all
circle
again.
tight.
I'm getting a lot of questions from different people who dwell within different denominations. They're asking, who are we really? Are we Hebrew? Are we Muslim? Are we Christian? The question should be, why should we have to be anything? Think about it. Why should we have to be anything? Before you come out of your mother's womb, you didn't have any titles connected to you. All of these things that we are trying to connect ourselves to were created inside of the illusion. And anytime you attach yourself to anything in the jurisdiction of an illusion, then guess what you become? You become an illusion. We all fighting about who's Christian, who's Muslim, who's right. Nobody's right. None of you right. Because none of you are following the laws of nature, which is common sense. You need a book to tell you how to live. You need a book to explain the superiority, which is lies, about who's more stronger, the man or the woman, who should be in the front, the man or a woman. Like, all of this creates atrocities and division. Why should we have to be anything? The birds don't call themselves birds. We the only ones that call them birds. They don't know that they're birds. Bees don't know that they're bees. We named them. We the only people that feel superior when we attach names and titles to things, to other people and to ourselves. So what's the whole point? Why? I mean, what's the whole point of us? Don't you see that this is one big game? You are playing the Matrix. You're trying to get out of the Matrix, but yet you are going along with their game. Why do we have to be anything? Just think about it. Why we have to be black? Why we have to be African? Why we have to be Moors? So what? And how do we utilize that once we come out of the illusion? None of this stuff has anything to do with us. It has nothing to do with our destiny. These are games that we are playing to cater to somebody else's agenda. All of this stuff is English words. You Christian, you Muslim, you black. All of these are English terms. So if white people are young beings and they're only 6,000 years old, then why connect yourself to things that are younger than you? Who's to say we got an age? So the thing is, none of you are right. Because none of that has nothing to do. We can go beyond spirituality. I can say, you know what? We're more than spiritual beings. We're more than soul beings. All of these are words made up by a man inside of an illusion. And the only reason why I use these languages such as soul, spirit, spirituality, and things of that nature is because this is what we identify by. But we don't want to fight over who's right and who's wrong. Nobody's right and nobody's wrong. Why do I say that? Because when you start to create your own moralities that fits you, there's no one system that can make you who you really supposed to be. But you. You have your own system. You have your own laws. You only define yourself. You shouldn't be placing titles on your names unless you know the root and history of where it really comes from. A lot of the stuff we try to attach ourselves to has nothing to do with us. It's something that's made up here in the illusion. We are the only people who like to, hypothetically speaking, we are the only people who like to take things, and because we are dwelling within a dimension that causes us to see ourselves as an individual or less superior beings, we like to attach titles to ourselves so we can feel great. You're already great. The great is underneath the physical. That's what you are. You never die. You never live. This is not life, nor is it this death. These are two English words. They don't exist. Remember, the English are young people. Death and life don't exist. You're not Christian. You are not a Muslim. You're not a Moor. You are higher than this. These things were made here on the third dimension. This is the lowest dimension that you can ever come to. Know who you really are. Because once you figure out who you truly are, you'll be able to rise above titles, things that have no purpose in your life. You wasted your time. And these people that you're keeping alive, these vampires, you keep them alive when you are out here with your foolishness talking about well, this is what we're supposed to be. This is who we are. Let's file this paperwork to make us free. Let's become sovereign. You can't trap energy. Even though you are in this individual or this physical body, you are not trapped. Because every time you speak, you release thoughts, which is you. You are in two dimensions at one time. So it's time to stop fighting over who's better than who. Because religion was made up by an illusionary machine that you are connected to every time that you adhere or acknowledge the platforms from which it comes from. So therefore, don't run around saying that you're spiritual, but then you have a title. Being spiritual does not connect you to titles. Being spiritual does not connect you to titles. Being spiritual only places you in the jurisdiction of the illusionary realm. It's a big game, and we falling for it. It's a big game. We fighting over stuff, and this stuff going on right above our head, below our feet. We've been fighting over this shit for a long time. It ain't got us nowhere. We've been filing paperwork for a long time. It hasn't gotten us anywhere. We are catering to a machine that we are keeping alive by way of our emotions and by way of our ignorance and arrogance toward one another. So again, who are you really? You have to be more than just an English word. You can't say you are more or a Christian or all that stuff. This stuff was made up here and not too long ago. Y'all thinking in the 1800s, that's not far, that's young. We lived past the universities that the Moors built in Spain. We lived past where the pyramids is built in Kemet, in Mexico, and other civilizations all over abroad within the universe. We are older than certain planets. You are as old as your thoughts. You are as old as your thoughts. So let's stop being manipulated by words, which is frequencies that is created within an illusion that you have nothing to do with. Again, if you want to be a title, then be a title. Other than that, you can't say you're spiritual. Which again, we are further than spirituality. We are further than spiritual beings. Again, we just use that. I just use that here as a language. So it's really time for us to tighten up. Because it's bigger than what you think it is. It's bigger than what you think it is. So with that much said, this is Black Science TV 111. Osei Kufuor, I'm out. Peace.